TMZ, the website, has up there that they have obtained a, quote, and I'm using their word, Carrie Prejean sex tape. What's going on?
Well, they can call it whatever they want to call it, but it was the biggest mistake of my life. I was all by myself. I was sending a boyfriend at the time who I loved and cared about, video of me, and
this is when you're a teenager?
Yeah, I was a teenager at the time, and never did I think it would ever come out, but it was bad judgment, and it's embarrassing, and it's humiliating to be talking about this now on national TV, if you can imagine.
It would be really embarrassing if it was me, but I want to make a light of it. But this is really does this bother you a lot?
Yeah, it does bother me, but you know what? You just have to take responsibility for it, and I'm taking total responsibility for it. I was, alone, sending it to my boyfriend who I cared about and loved about at the time. When you're young, you think, this is the one, and never did I think it would come and just slap me right in the face.
So what happened? So this was a relationship with a boyfriend. This is not a sex tape. When we hear the word sex tape, this is not anything like some of the ones we've heard about. This is you were sending video of yourself to your boyfriend.
Right. I was all by myself, and
a boyfriend you loved.
Right, and no one was in the room with me. I was not having sex with anybody, and he call it whatever you want to call it.
So now you become famous. He saved this video all these years and sells it.
Right.
It's a pretty big betrayal.
It is, and I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about people and just what they'll do to make some extra money.
Yeah. And have you spoken to him about this?
Of course he denies everything, but whatever.
Well, there's only one place it's going to come from, right?
Exactly.
Or at least originate from.
Exactly.
What do you think? Now, it's interesting. TMZ, they're a pretty hard-hitting website, but they said they were making an editorial decision not to air it. Are you prepared that eventually this is going to get out, and are you concerned about that?
I mean, I think anyone would be concerned that their biggest mistake of their life is going to be, aired, but like I said, you just have to take responsibility for it. It happened. It was a choice that I made. It was the worst mistake of my life, and I just have to deal with it. And I'm ready to just move forward and just, it happened, and it's not what everybody's making it seem to be, but you just have to deal with it.
What do you think this is related to? I mean, you were asked a question. You didn't know what the question was going to be about gay marriage. You gave an honest answer. It becomes this big controversy. Do you think this is the fact that they would dig deep? Is this to show that, wow, Carrie Prejean was a teenager, that she's a hypocrite? Is that?
I guess what they're trying to say is that Christians, are perfect, and I never said I was perfect. And in my book, I definitely don't say I'm perfect.
No, you just go to great lengths to say that Christians are not.
Exactly. And, it just shows that it's been 7 months. Isn't that crazy to think it's been 7 months, and it's taken them this long, to just dig through my past, beat my parents up, just all these attacks just need to stop. And it's just because of my answer. And I think people need to be reminded of that. And I'm 22 years old. People forget about that.
It's also a different world. Look, I got to be honest, and I've been honest with my audience. If we go back and dig into my teenage years and when I was in my early 20s, if anyone looks at those moments when they're young, you'd never want this to become public.
Right.
Do you think this is related? Look at how they attack Governor Palin. Look at how they attack Michelle Bachmann and Michelle Malkin and Ann Coulter. Do you think conservative women are targeted because of their views?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And what does that mean to you?
It's disturbing to me. It really is disturbing. My sister is a liberal, and she is disgusted with the way that her sister, we're 11 months apart, and we share different views.
This is the one in the military.
Right. Yeah. And we share completely different views, but we've always been raised to have tolerance and to show civility, and we can agree to disagree. And I've never, my 22 years of my life, I've never seen anything like this before, ever. Yeah. I've never seen it.
Well, I guess this goes down to still standing, and what has this whole experience, when you look at it, and maybe the worst is yet to come, and as much as this tape is probably, if people have it, they'll probably release it. But you're not going to let this bother you. I was talking to you before we came on the air. You're fine with who you are.
Yeah.
How hard is it to be in the middle of a national controversy?
I just have to rely on my faith. I have to rely on my family, my millions of supporters out there who still support me and who know, why this is really happening. But, you know, this book, I'm so happy that I wrote this book. This is my first book that I've ever written, and, you know, it gives Americans just hope, and it shows them that, you know, Americans should not be attacked for their beliefs. They should not be silenced. You know, we have the freedom of speech, and I was punished. I was fired. I was brutally attacked and still being attacked. People are still trying to dig up things from my past.